A tropical storm now flooding parts of the Carolinas after inundating Florida's Gulf Coast with storm surge.
Motel we have here in my house, 4 feet underwater. So you go inside my house and it looks like the couch is where the refrigerator was and the refrigerator is where the couch was.
He's in Cedar Key. Idalia first hit land as a powerful hurricane a bit north of there in Keaton Beach.
The good news in this neighborhood is that everyone we've talked to here said they heeded the warnings and got out. But the damage to their homes is immense.
Fox Business's Grady Trimble standing in front of an obliterated home.
And today, Governor DeSantis, as well as the FEMA administrator, will tour the damage here. They say some of the homes and businesses here will not be able to be used for weeks, if not months.
Almost everyone's out of power in the Keaton Beach area. There are 300,000 outages, Florida to the Carolinas. 2 car crash deaths reported in Florida. A man was killed by a falling tree in Georgia. At least 73 people are dead in South Africa after a fire engulfed a 5-story building where homeless people and squatters had been living.
The Johannesburg Public Safety Commissar telling reporters,
I'm sort of traumatized. It's a bad scene. They are bent bodies beyond their recognition.
More than 50 people were hurt, some from hurling themselves out the windows of the building to escape the flames.
Fox's Jack Callahan. Republican Senate Leader Mitch McConnell will consult a doctor after he froze up again, speaking to reporters for the second time in a month, standing, staring straight ahead, saying nothing after being asked a question until an aide stepped in. A McConnell spokesperson says the 81-year-old felt lightheaded but feels fine. President Biden, who is 80 and has faced questions about his age too, reacted.
Mitch is a friend, as you know, not a joke. We always, I know people don't believe that's the case, but we have disagreements politically, but he's a good friend.
America's listening to Fox News.
Lowe's knows how to save pros time and money. Right now, save $50 on select DeWalt power tools. And there's more. Now through September 1st, earn 3 times the bonus points per dollar on reliable primed pine boards. Visit us in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. DeWalt offer valid 8/1 through 10/28. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 9/1.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
North Korea is boasting the day after test launching more missiles, saying they simulated scorched earth nuclear strikes on its rival South Korea, which again did more military exercises with the U.S. yesterday. A soldier who died during World War II finally laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery.
Army Private First Class Arthur Barrett was in the Philippines when Japanese forces invaded the islands in 1941. He and thousands of other U.S. and Filipino service members were taken prisoner. Barrett died at a prisoner of war camp and was buried in a mass grave. After the war, the American Graves Registration Service exhumed the remains and managed to identify 12 sets as individuals, but they didn't have the names to go with them. Those 12 were buried as unknowns at Manila American Cemetery and Memorial. But in 2018, some of the remains were exhumed again, and after DNA testing, they were confirmed to be those of Barrett. Jill Nato, Fox News.
Now to something from an even longer time ago. Upon further review, a time capsule opened this week was not empty after all.
The box didn't quite meet expectations.
That's what West Point archaeologist Paul Hudson had to say Monday during a live stream by the U.S. Military Academy after officials opened the nearly 200-year-old capsule discovered under the statue of Revolutionary War hero Thaddeus Kosciuszko. Hudson did note there was sediment at the bottom of the lead box, which required a closer look. Wednesday, Hudson revealing 6 silver American coins were actually inside the box, dating from 1795 to 1828, when it's believed the capsule was placed underground. A commemorative medal was also discovered. The preservation and analysis of the time capsule will continue. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising before the opening bell, up more than 100 points for the Dow. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois expanding access to mental health services of rural farmers and agricultural communities. The state announcing funding for the Farm Family Resource Initiative. The program created initially as a pilot program covering 6 Illinois counties, providing telehealth and mental health access. State and local health officials unable to determine the source of 3 Legionnaire's disease cases in Findlay. All 3 reported between July 30th and August 4. The Department of Public Health and Shelby County Department of Health announcing that testing on the environmental samples hasn't identified the definitive source of the exposure. 2 Decatur firefighters recovering after battling a blaze at the ADM's East plant. It broke out Monday at the facility. The plant evacuated. All employees were safely accounted for. Crews were on scene for 12 hours. 2 firefighters sent to hospitals with minor injuries. Again, that fire is under investigation. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yes, good morning. Watts Copy Systems, where you can get a free printer analysis. Maybe you're spending too much on your copier. Maybe you're just not efficient. Watts Copy Systems, where service is more than a promise. Just get hold of Greg Wolf at Watts Copy Systems in Champaign. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday. Morning, Diane Ducey.
Good morning. Almost a little chilly. I wouldn't go to work with the top down on the convertible today.
You just put on a scarf or something,
right?
You know, stocking cap.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I'm showing about 50, 51, 52. Mr. Greg Soye, our meteorologist, man. It's a idyllic kind of morning, and the full moon last night was unbelievable.
I still saw it hanging on the horizon coming in.
Mr. Greg, what are you seeing out there?
Beautiful sun, I should say moonrise yesterday evening, and when we opened up the weather factory around here about 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning, just beginning to set on the western horizon. Yeah, it had a blue hue, and man, that was a big old marble in that clear, pristine sky, and in the dry, clear, cool, comfortable, relatively clean air. Still some smokiness up aloft over parts of the Midwest from those Canadian fires. Yeah, there's a little nip in the air, but this too shall pass. Still lots of summertime to go here on the maps and charts well into September on the temperatures as we wind our way through the back few hours of meteorological summertime. 55 now, Willard and Savoy, 52 Rantoul. We got some 40s across parts of northern Vermilion County and Iroquois County as well, and up towards the Kankakee as well this morning. Low to mid 50s down towards the I-70 corridor. So comfortable morning, warm up slow and steady as she goes here heading into the weekend. A warm football Saturday evening and some heat and humidity for the holiday weekend. Keeping an eye on Adelia making her way off of Wilmington, North Carolina. 1, 2, 3, 4 more systems stacked across the tropical Atlantic to the African coast, but they will all encounter wind shear up aloft. So nothing, I think, going forward from this point on a tropical sense across the continental United States. Sunny, comfortable for the day-to-day. Light east wind, 77, the forecast high. Will bottom out tonight again around 51 with a clear sky, light east wind. Getting into the holiday weekend, September 1 rolls in tomorrow. The start of meteorological autumn. Anything but sunny, warmer at 83. 50s tomorrow night again, and mostly sunny, warm, dry weather for football Saturday, 88 in the afternoon, probably about 80, 82 degrees to kick off, and a bit of a drop off from there on the drier air, but humidity slowly creeps in. Not the oppressive feel that we had here last week, but humidity will climb over the rest of the holiday weekend, close to 90 on a hot and somewhat more humid Sunday. Monday up to 94. There may be an isolated, widely scattered shower thunderstorm. We're moving back into a drier mode here, but mention of rain late Tuesday into Wednesday next week. High temperatures still in the lower 90s. Slightly cooler, drier air still into the 80s for high temperatures next Thursday and Friday.
Well, everybody watches the meteorologist. So what are you wearing to the game? I mean, you're going to pants. I mean, I think I'm doing pants and short sleeve.
I will be there to admit, and I will be there, by the way. We will be there at 4 o'clock to take care of that piece of business. But I don't know. I'll have to, certainly some shorts and gym shoes, and we'll see what I have in the closet around here to wear.
Yeah,
it won't be anything.
I got
you. It won't
you.
be like anything from Indiana or Michigan. So,
but at 9 o'clock, will you wish you had pants on? That's the question. I mean, will it be that?
Well, yeah, but I kind of like it. You know, I like a little bit cool. Okay. I like to be a little bit cooler dressed. So that's my thinking on it. But I would think that, dress for a warm summer evening, and maybe temperatures back into the maybe mid to low 70s by the end of the football game Saturday evening.
It'll be fun. Looking forward to it, Mr. Greg Soye and Christine, your lovely bride. We're looking forward to seeing you. So
we'll be there with bells on, sir.
All right, my friend. Thank you, meteorologist Greg Soye, our weatherman. I've known Greg for, I just looked it up, 98. It's 25 years.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Nice.
Yeah. Good guy and good at weather. Which
for
is
sure.
Kind of important if you're doing the weather.
Yeah.
So there's that. Okay, so off we go. Big show today. We got John Decker at the bottom of the hour.
We've got our law enforcement official of the month, too, that we'll meet.
Sean Hallett.
Yeah. Champaign County Sheriff's Department. He's a great guy.
We're looking forward to honoring our police. Somebody told me yesterday they certainly appreciate how many years we've been kind of doing shout-outs for. I mean, that's 7 or 8?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's back in 2015 when things were getting really hinky.
Yeah.
Whenever Ferguson, Missouri was. What year was Ferguson, Missouri? Hands up, don't shoot was a lie.
Total fiction story.
So we have been, and I think we're on the comeback a little bit. I do. Although I'm seeing Urbana Police on a billboard saying we're looking to hire DeMonte Williams, Fighting Illini, wonderful. Police officer?
Nice.
In Peoria. So he just got sworn in.
That's where he grew up, right?
Right,
we had that pocket of people
but you put Monty in...
Hands Up, Don't Shoot, back in Ferguson, August 9th, 2014.
Oh, my gosh. So we're coming up on 10 years next year of honoring law enforcement, because I saw that and I said, we're supporting police. And somebody told me, ooh, that's controversial. I said, what is that? That's 9 years ago.
Right. In
Crazy.
fact, we stepped up even farther and had the banquet at iHotel with Sheriff David Clark, was it?
Yep, Sheriff Clark, and then Mike Ditka and Brother Johnny. We were at the iHotel, 420 law enforcement officials and their brides and significant others, and just a big night of thanking them for what they do and all those. So that was 2016. And so we're proud to say we support police wholeheartedly, and I firmly believe if we didn't have police or reinventing police or whatever nonsense is out there, I mean, look what's happened already. I mean, how's the reinventing police working for you?
Right.
And police officers are afraid to grab somebody's arm. Just imagine you live in a world where people actually did what the officer asked. How many incidents would there ever be? But what we're doing, we're raising a bunch of children to actually believe in their heart they're going to get killed if a police officer approaches them. They're being taught that.
Right.
So if you truly see somebody and you look at them like the Nazi Gestapo, you're going to be afraid because they're going to hurt me. And so that's what they're feeling. So we're doing a poor job educating and teaching them. Hey, listen, are there imperfect police? Yes. Are there very many? No. So that's my belief, and we've been standing by it as a company for I guess 9 years.
Man, I saw a story about California, and like domestic violence isn't really a violent crime anymore.
Well, I mean, listen, you go into the borders of California, good luck to you. What a shame. What a beautiful state. What a shame they have wrecked it.
And just looking at all the crime rates and how fast they're rising in California.
Well, who once said you get what you tolerate? The great Mike Ditka always said that. And boy, have we gotten what we have tolerated. And it's just unacceptable to be allowing so many human beings to be on the streets so drugged up. It is shameful. It just should not be allowed.
And so much smash and grab going on in California.
Well,
and
$500,000 left last night from a jewelry store was it California? I don't know where that was, but that was recent.
Right.
And so we're being told at TJ Maxx, don't worry about it. Just don't do anything. And so they just, come and do their thing. It's just, and then retail businesses are closing.
Right.
And you say, well, why? Well, because they're losing money.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, 7:14, off we go into our first sports headline of the morning, ESPN 93.5.
St. Louis Cardinals, big winners yesterday. My man Tommy Edman, I got a selfie with him when he was on that's
a good
Cardinal Caravan.
Great guy. I mean, I said, Tommy, this was like 4 years ago.
Right.
I said, Tommy, if it wasn't for you, Cardinals would have made the playoffs. They wouldn't have made the playoffs. He said, thank you. He said, I had to move my wedding. Because he had an October 5th wedding, but he was in the playoffs, and he was a minor league player. And then he came up, lifted us up. We got to the playoffs, and they had to move the wedding a month. Not easy to move a wedding.
Well, you've got your daughter dating a minor league player, but I feel like, late in the year, they're good with they won't have to move
I told Grace.
Professional reasons, right?
No, not December. Okay. I mean, we planned way out.
Okay.
But I told Grace, you never know in this business, in baseball.
That's right.
When you're coming and going. You have no idea. Jacob was playing in AAA. He thinks he's going back to AA, but it's been now 2 weeks. Coming up in 2 weeks, he's been in AAA.
Well,
playing well.
Me and my kind of supper club on Wednesday nights chose Philo Tavern yesterday, and Mason Wynn came up too. He was on our Cardinal Caravan.
And he got a big hit and kept it going. John Rooney has this.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney, and 2 days in a row, Tommy Edman delivered walk-off hits. A base hit to the corner 2 nights ago, then yesterday afternoon, a home run to the bullpen in right center, and that was after Mason Wynn kept the game going with a double.
A lot of good at-bats in the game. Mason Wynn's at-bat gave the Cardinals a chance. Jordan Walker had a 4-hit game for the Cardinals, including a long big fly to left. His best game as a Cardinal, really, and a lot of good things happening in the game. Miles Michaelis got off the hook, got a little run support for a change.
And the Cardinals played well in the field, and the double play was a big friend to the Cardinals.
Very good defensively, also very aggressive on the base paths.
The Cardinals take on the Pittsburgh Pirates, the first of 3 tomorrow night. And it'll be Dakota Hudson going for his 6th win. We'll be on the air at 6:20. Ricky will have the lineups at 7:05. I'll bring you the first pitch at 7:15. A walk-off winner for Tommy Edman and the Cardinals yesterday, 5-4 over the San Diego Padres.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
And Cody Bellinger, the man of the hour. Cubs win 3-2 over Milwaukee.
First and third, 2 down. Ground ball off the foot of the pitcher. The throw to first base, not in time. Cubs take the lead. Bellinger hit a smash off the foot of Piamps. The ball rolled over toward the third baseline. Monasterio picked it up. His throw to first too late. The go-ahead run is in. Listen to this crowd.
Big 2 out of 3 over Milwaukee. The Cubs they were 5 back now. 3 back.
I know.
So they can still win that National League Central Division.
Right.
Cubbies are real now. Wow.
And Chicago White Sox winners 10-5 over the Baltimore Orioles. We had Parkland beating Lewis and Clark yesterday. We also have, Illini volleyball and Illini football. It's just all coming, and we'll be at Pia's tomorrow after 3. If you're interested in trying to win tickets to go to the game Saturday night at 6:30 against the Toledo Rockets, make sure you're coming on up to me and whispering Stevie J.
And that's going to get them, you're doing 1 pair like that.
That's right.
Okay,
so the first person to do that.
So you'll be there before.
Mm-hmm.
Can they do it before if they're there?
I could do that.
Okay,
and
just
maybe
1 pair. If you say Stevie J, she's going to hand you 2 tickets
That's
to
right.
the game. All right.
And Lonte and Derek Piper will tell you all the specials. It's going to be a blast at 1609 West Springfield Avenue. And we've got Craig Swope coming in
Craig
from
Swope.
the
Wow.
1983 reunion that's happening for the Rose Bowl.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Weather brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you, if you need those back to school or sports physicals done, they're still doing them at a location near you. Find out more at carl.org.
Well, we got beautiful weather. We'll warm up for our Labor Day weekend nicely, but boy, right now this morning, it's absolutely beautiful across East Central Illinois.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Van Avis Saturday, and this fine spell of late summertime weather continues on. No need to worry. Still plenty of summertime weather ahead on the maps and charts. Big warm up and a late season heat wave weather pattern expected over the holiday weekend, and that warm one continues on well into next week, but at least minus the real oppressive humidity values across the area. Sunshine, comfortable days worth of weather ahead for the day-to-day. Light easterly wind up to 77. Clear tonight, lows either side of 50. Tomorrow, September 1st, and a sunny sky and a warmer temperature up to about 83 degrees. Saturday outlook up to 88 in the afternoon. Will be around 80 at kickoff time. Dry skies, a light south wind anticipated. Rest of the holiday weekend getting hot, more humid Sunday afternoon. The high around 90, up to 94 on Monday. Could be a stray thunderstorm here late Tuesday into Wednesday. High temperatures there into the lower 90s. Slightly cooler, slightly drier. Still readings into the 80s next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
UC Bank, leading the way to your financial wellness. No matter where your financial journey begins, Pathways banking options at Busey are designed with your goals in mind. UC Bank, building strong financial futures, one family, one street, one city at a time. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street will be reacting today to a fresh reading on inflation. The PCE index for July, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Index. Hormel Foods is reporting a disappointing quarter, and it says shoppers have been highly intentional in their spending. It's a sign that higher prices are forcing customers to cut back. Cloud-based enterprise software company Salesforce topped forecast with its earnings for the recent quarter. Salesforce also owns messaging app Slack. Cybersecurity company CrowdStrike and also identity management software business Okta reported better than expected quarters. Online pet food seller Chewy made a profit in the period, and its sales were better than predicted. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda. Invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Listen to the all-new Bret Baier podcast featuring Common Ground, talking to lawmakers weekly from opposite sides of the political spectrum about the issues of the day and how Americans can find common ground in a politicized world.
That's just not happening on Capitol Hill. It takes leadership, right?
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Along with all your Bret Baier favorites like the campaign, the candidates, the all-star panel, and much more. Available now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, Travis and Alex bought a home in Southwest Champaign, want to fix it and flip it like a lot of people do. Their inexperienced real estate agent's opinion moved them to invest several $100,000 into the home, thinking they'd get it back. Well, it's about $80,000 more than the true market value is what they put. Well, anyway, they got hold of Nate Evans, the Nate Evans Group and his team, and things turned around. A marketing plan specific to that home, Nate's corporate relocation relationships. They sold the home for $600,000. They got out of that thing and made some money.
Right. You want somebody who has experience, and that's Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. Can get you that immediate cash offer on your home. There's flexible fees as you sell your home for the most money possible. It was such a blast at the Muhammad Music Festival over the weekend, and kind of the after party, since Nate is right there in that log cabin style, office that's across from the fire station in downtown Muhammad. They had the black muscle shirts on that had the gold Nate Evans Group across the front. It kind of reminded me of you back in the day, Stevie, with the DJing, clubs like the Poison Apple and all that. In any case,
that was a minute ago.
They had the DJ and the flashing lights. It was so fun. And talk about people who are invested in their community too. That's why you should call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans. It's just an online search away to Nate Evans Group to start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Kick off your Labor Day weekend at the ballpark with the Cardinals and Pirates. On Friday, September 1st, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older will take home a snapback hat featuring the Cardinals' Angry Bird logo thanks to Scott Credit Union. This unique cap is this season's must-have for hat collectors and really all people with a head. That's Friday, September 1st, the Cardinals, the Pirates, and the Angry Bird hat giveaway. For tickets and details, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Like every bank, there's a time every day when we stop making loans. But at Iroquois Federal, we never stop making a difference. Thanks to an amazing team of employees who give back to their local communities all over Central Illinois. From hospital boards and local school programs to Kiwanis and the United Way, Iroquois Federal employees donated more than 1,000 volunteer hours last year. And we'll do it again next year, because the only thing we like more than making a loan is making a difference. Iroquois Federal, still friendly, still local, still here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's Emily Atkins. She owns something called Happy Healing. Tell me about what you have planned coming up.
September 9th, we have our spiritual spa day. We have 3 wellness practitioners coming. We have Brenda, who does sound bowl healings with crystal bowls, Drea, who does facials, and we have Emily, who does massages. So we'll be selling tickets, and so you'll have a half hour of each, and then I'll be there and we can make candles too. You can go to the website, happyhealing.us.
Yeah, impressive in Nebraska, where they have the national volleyball champions. They set the world record in attendance. They had 92,003
for a women's sporting event. 92,003 in Memorial Stadium to watch this volleyball match as Lincoln, Nebraska and Omaha, Nebraska. So it's kind of cool that it was pretty much a local event that the university took aim to set that record last spring.
You want to be Omaha and bring everybody to get creamed? Because they lost 3-0. I mean,
really?
Yeah, it wasn't. But it was the national.
It was an event to be there.
It was an event to say I was there for the largest women's sport event. Apparently, the other one was in Spain,
Barcelona,
Barcelona, Spain. So you've got quite the event there. But imagine we can't do that. Our stadium holds 60,000.
Right.
A Memorial Stadium is indeed in Lincoln too. So we have Memorial Stadium here. There's several Memorial Stadiums around the country. So remembering our soldiers. But no, that's. Kudos. That's not easy. They were hitting it pretty hard in the promotion, I guess.
That's a good gig for country artist Scotty McCreery to perform at. When you think of the numbers of people that are seeing you and finding out, he's the one that won on American Idol.
But he was there?
Yeah, he did a performance there. I mean, they made this an event.
That's the biggest audience Scotty McCreery's
I think so, too.
No, he probably came for free on that one. That's wonderful. I love stuff like that. Remember Teresa Grenz had... Did she get 15,000 at State Farm, formerly Assembly Hall, for a basketball game? I think she did. It was against Purdue. I think Purdue might have won.
Right.
But we had that many. I tell you, Shauna Green.
When they had their kids' day, and Shauna Green had so many, it was like 4,000 kids in there.
Yeah, but I mean, what's our record with Shauna? 6,000 or 8,000? I mean, I never thought we could get past 5,000 for women's basketball. But now I'm thinking we can do this because she's going to win a lot of games. And so people are jumping aboard. You should have bought your season tickets a year ago for women's basketball.
Yeah.
Because you'd have paid next to nothing and been real happy to be in the seats you're going to be in. But now we're getting to where people are actually wanting to go to women's basketball, and that has not been a thing here for a very long time. Teresa Grenz had it going for a while. But now we've got Shauna Green, women's basketball coach at the University of Illinois. And, this is getting fun. I think she got some transfers in. So
yep.
We still got that woman from Iowa. What's her name? Clark? Oh, good golly, she's coming back. I thought she'd go to the WNBA.
Okay.
She's a mess. She scored 33 against us when we beat them. She is a good player, and it's fun. Anyway, we're excited for all the sports. Football, the line has gone from 9 to 9.5.
Okay.
Which indicates a little more gambling on Illinois, but not a lot. Because people know that are following this, they know how good Toledo, Ohio is in football.
Mm-hmm.
University of Toledo is good. And I think 90% of the people are going to the stadium going, yeah, we're going to cream them. Yay, football. And they don't know. I mean, they're not following this. This is a really good football team that thinks they can go undefeated.
Yeah. I mean, they're the MAC champions last year.
And they've got a quarterback. It's one of those guys that, he's free. That kind of guy. And he's going to run like crazy.
Yeah.
Daquan Quinn, I think.
Okay.
So anyway, our guys, we're pretty excited. I'm hearing the buzz, as I've talked about, the front seven on defense supposed to be all that. And Brett Bielema told us yesterday on the show that he's trying to say, yeah, you're good, but, try and temper it a little bit. Otherwise, they're going crazy.
Keep them humble.
Yeah. You got to stay humble because there's a lot of quality football teams out there, and Toledo is one of them. So, if you go in there and it's tied or you're behind in the fourth quarter, don't be super shocked. Now, we should beat this team, but I don't know if it's going to – if we beat them by, a couple of touchdowns, it's going to be an impressive win because you're not going to see – and track Toledo, track the Rockets after this and see how many games they lose. They're going to go like 10-1, 10-2. They think if they can beat Illinois, they can go undefeated. So this is the kind of team coming in. And they're good. So, got a really quality opponent. Then at Kansas, many think we'll lose that game Friday night in Lawrence, Kansas, because they've got a terrific quarterback, and they went to a bowl and won. And then you got Penn State, who's ranked only 7th.
And that's going to be an 11 a.m. start, whereas these first two games out of the season are 6:30.
But why, if Illinois wins both of these, wouldn't you put that at prime time? I mean, Illinois, Penn State? Because Penn State's going to be 2-0. They're just real good. So anyway, we got a tough start to the season. Florida Atlantic after that. So, but past the Penn State game, you're looking at games that are kind of coin flips. I mean, we can win a lot of games.
Yeah.
And these teams can beat us too. So Gonna be fun. Looking forward to seeing it. All right, 6:30 Saturday night, ESPN 93.5. John Decker next.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
I'm Paul Stevens. Tropical storm Idalia moving out to sea, leaving plenty of damage behind. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis comparing the storm to last year's Hurricane Ian.
There were frantic calls to 911 because the water was rising in people's homes so quickly. We did not see those types of phone calls like we did in Hurricane Ian. And so I think it's a combination of the surge was a little bit more manageable, and I think it was a combination of people did heed the evacuation warnings.
Governor DeSantis on Fox's Hannity. President Biden asked about Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who for the second time in a few months froze yesterday in front of the news media.
Mitch is a friend, as you know, not a joke. We always, I know people don't believe that's the case, but we have disagreements politically, but he's a good friend.
Mitch McConnell is 81. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Joe Miller. Illinois State Police said eastbound Interstate 74 expected to remain shut down for a few hours after a deadly crash Wednesday morning. They said at about 7:50, a semi-truck rear-ending another Oakwood resident. The driver killed in the crash. The other driver had minor injuries. A 16-year-old recovering after they were shot in the hand Tuesday morning in Rantoul. It happened near the intersection of Hamilton Drive and Cantonment Avenue. Police say the suspect shot into the upstairs bedrooms of an apartment with 4 people inside, hitting one of them. A teen was taken to the hospital. September National Library Card Sign-Up Month. Urbana-Free Library issuing updated designs for people to take home. One design of the mural painted on the outside of the Cunningham Township building. The other card shows the Green Street entrance to the library. Anyone who gets a new library card in September will also receive a free tote bag. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim Miller. Now we check your weather. That's brought to you by Houlihan's.
Patio play tonight. Ooh, a nice night to be at First and St. Mary and enjoy Dave and Lisa performing from 6 to 8. You got a special menu, $7 glass of house wine. You know, unwind from that surge of back to school, and now the final day of August. Patio play tonight at Houlihan's.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Well, quiet, comfortable weather continues on here. Still some problematic tropical weather into the eastern Carolinas from Idalia. Matter of fact, there are upwards of 4 more systems organizing across the waters from the central Atlantic to off the African coast, but no sign of those coming back into the mainland. Still keeping an eye on Franklin, Jose, and 2 more systems out there in the tropical waters. Anything but tropical for the day today. Sun-filled, comfortable light east wind. 77 the high, lows near 54 tonight into the holiday weekend. September 1st tomorrow with a sunny, warmer high of 83. Football Saturday, 88 in the afternoon. Close to 80 at kickoff time. Bit of a south breeze. Dry skies. More humidity in the air for Sunday and Monday. Not quite the oppressive feel, though. Highs near 90 on Sunday, 94 Monday, lower 90s, and a couple of isolated thunderstorms possible late Tuesday into Wednesday. Slightly cooler, drier air. Still into the 80s next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldgate.
All right, thank you, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, boys and girls, it's Thursday. John Decker, John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room.
John Decker, John Decker.
Yes, children in combines now singing the theme. Ladies and gentlemen, Great Television's White House correspondent. He is all over the world covering the news as a journalist should. Nobody knows how he votes, which is perfect. John Decker, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Stevie. Hi, Diane. Hope you're doing well today, having a good week so far.
So far, so good.
The news, of course, is Adelia and the hurricane. I've seen nothing but wall-to-wall on that. Keaton Beach, I'm not familiar with where that is, but that apparently got decimated. And FEMA's down there taking a tour. No mention if Joe Biden will go down there. It's a tricky business, I guess, for presidents to go to stuff. Stevie Jay catch a turn. I would have been in East Palestine, Ohio, and Maui actually kind of teared me up because I'd been to Lahaina so many times.
Yeah,
I would have gone there in 2 days. And I said, logistically, I'd have flown Air Force One onto the island. Yeah. We'd have taken a helicopter on the other side, so I'm not going to clog traffic on the island.
Right.
And we'd have figured it out, but I would have wanted to go and just hug some people.
Yeah.
Because, oh my Lord, John, I don't think they're ever going to get a head count of how many died.
Yeah. That's just a tragedy, a complete tragedy. And I agree with you that it was rather late for Joe Biden to travel to Western Maui. He ultimately did. Took some time out from his vacation last week to do so. And it's a head scratcher to me as to why he's never visited East Palestine. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
One day you're going to get a call to advise the president. Somebody's going to call John Decker and say, how do I do this? What would I say? That kind of stuff. And John's going to know the words. By the way, there's apparently a book out on Joe Biden. Listen to this.
2 years ago, the last American soldier left Afghanistan, Major General Chris Donahue, the commanding general of the 82nd Airborne Division. Months later, Putin would launch his full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and President Biden later went off script in Poland, calling for regime change in Russia. And here's what happened next, according to an excerpt from Franklin Ford's new book about Biden's first term in the White House titled The Last Politician. Biden instantly knew that the White House would have to clarify his mistake. By the time Biden piled into his motorcade, his aides had released a statement walking back his sentence. Rather than owning his failure, he fumed to his friends about how he was treated like a toddler. Was John Kennedy ever babied like that?
I served with Jack Kennedy. I knew Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy was a friend of mine. Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy.
There you go. That was a blast from the past. Anyway, so, the fact that he'd remember John Kennedy in that way and say, I mean, it kind of confirms, if that's true, that there are plenty of handlers with, kind of moving things around a little bit, John. I still want the book that I would read on how this thing works. Yeah. I just don't think the president's being briefed like a normal president. I just think, here's what we're doing today, Mr. President. Here's what you read. And remember, no questions, that kind of stuff. But it'd be fascinating behind the scenes of this particular president, because I think it's very different.
Well, didn't we have a guest on, an author about the puppeteer or something like that?
I think so. That was former congressman was on about that.
I'll look that up.
John, what do you think? Because you're there. You're at the White House a lot. How do you think it works?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is behind closed doors. By the way, my ear is so good. I know whose voice that was.
Do you?
Of that clip that you just played. It's Lucas Tomlinson of Fox News, if you did not know that.
Who did I knew Jack Kennedy. Who was that?
Oh, that was Lloyd Benson.
Very nice.
That's one of the best debate lines in the history of debates, the vice presidential debate. And to use that line on Dan Quayle. Dan Quayle looked like a deer caught on the headline when that line was delivered. Unbelievable.
That was a moment in 1988, and that was quite the. Remember the? Hurts me. Michael Dukakis and the helmet in the tank. Okay, that was a tough one. Yeah. That was a bad look.
Did I ever tell you the story? What was it? 2020, January 2020. I'm out in Los Angeles. I'm teaching a course at UCLA Law School called Impeaching a President, happening actually the same time that President Trump was being impeached. And I had lunch at his place, Michael Dukakis. Did I ever tell you the story?
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah. It was such a thrill. I'm a huge student, fan of history, and to meet someone who's run for president, who's been their party's nominee, doesn't matter whether they've won or lost, they've been their party's nominee, they've gone through that process. To me, it was just a real thrill to ask questions that I've always wanted to ask Michael Dukakis about that campaign, and he was completely honest, Kitty Dukakis was right there.
Wow.
The three of us while we had lunch. It was really a big thrill for me.
That would be really interesting to get to talk about. I know you could post Michael Dukakis up in the basketball game for sure. He's not really tall. But I tell you what, though, you know, that was the Read My Lips, No New Taxes.
Yeah, Read My Lips, No New Taxes. Absolutely, yeah. It was a memorable campaign, and George H.W. Bush ran essentially for a third Reagan term. That's what was his campaign, and he won pretty easily in that campaign. And it was a remarkable race. And I think Michael Dukakis, you might recall, in August of that election year, in August of 1988, he was winning by something in the polls, by something like 20 points. And then that moment that you mentioned, the moment of Michael Dukakis in the tank with the helmet, that was problematic. And also, he took all of August off, was something that John Kerry did in his race against George W. Bush. Big mistake. You can't take August off.
Why would you
have to go ahead and campaign. I don't know.
Why would you ever take any time that close to the election? I didn't know that.
I don't get it. I don't get that.
It's amazing if you look back at all that stuff and what you remember. You weren't even covering the White House at that time, so
no, I wasn't.
Student of history. John Decker. Okay, so if I could go to the window in Las Vegas and say I'll take the field, and I would lose my bet if either Trump or Biden were the candidates, I might put a little money on that. I just don't think Donald Trump, maybe because he seems to be strengthening with all this, and some of the clips I played yesterday with the African Americans relating to the mugshot and some of the support there. I don't know certainly this is so unprecedented. He's got trial dates ahead in prime voting season, and yet if you go and rush to trial and convict, which I think he'll be convicted in some of these places because of the jury pool, the appeal will take 2 years. I don't know how far. It's crazy.
You're right. The appeals he's going to be, this is my prediction. You talk about going to Las Vegas and making predictions, making bets, but I think that come November of next year, Donald Trump will be the Republican nominee. And I believe, look, when you have 91 counts, when you add them all up against you, odds are not good of him winning on all 91 of those counts. But to your point, I do think that there will be appeals, and those appeals will take quite some time to work themselves out. So it won't be a final verdict, if you want to call it that, as it relates to these criminal cases against Donald Trump because of the appeals process.
What will history write about this? If you have liberal historians, will they depict the other side of how people feel? A whole lot of Americans feel this is not equal justice under the law, and what's happening is, a political attack on the top candidate. I wonder in 15 years you will read that, or it'll just be Donald Trump did all these things wrong. I just wonder.
Yeah, I mean, the thing of it is that you hit the nail right on the head. And I think that here in Washington, D.C., there's not a realization that there is a significant part of the American population that views this as what you called it, what Donald Trump has called it, a political prosecution, a political persecution. There is a significant percentage of America that feels that way, and you have to understand that, and you have to talk about that. You can't ignore that, and if you watch certain cable channels, they do ignore that segment of the population, which is to their detriment, I think.
Well, I think they criticize that segment of rednecks, racists. I mean, the other day, President Biden said the number one threat is white supremacy. Is it? I mean, I don't feel that. I don't see it in my life. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, to me, the number one threat. No, I can think of a number of things that come before that, Russia, China, not white supremacy, which is not to diminish that as an issue. It's just saying it's not America's number one threat right now that we're facing as a nation. Look, I think that as we get into this political process and the political campaign, you're going to hear rhetoric that's way out there on both sides, by the way, and, you just have to cut through it. And figure out what's the real deal, what's the truth here. And it's interesting to me. Here we are, Stevie, we're a week past that first Republican presidential debate. Any movement in the polls that you've noticed, since that first debate?
No,
not really. I mean, I saw one poll that has come out, Emerson College poll. It showed Donald Trump has gone down from 55% to 50%. Okay, I think he can handle that dip in the polls. But I think what's also interesting is what's happening, at the next tier. I think Nikki Haley had a really good debate, and her poll numbers have gone up. Mike Pence has raised some more money since that last poll, and and the next debate is September the 27th. It's going to be at the Reagan Library out in California, and tougher requirements to be on that debate stage. You need 3% in the polls. So I think that if you were on the edge of that stage, Doug Burgum, the governor from North Dakota, he might have some trouble getting on that debate stage. The other end, Asa Hutchinson, he might have difficulty getting on that debate stage. And then I think those two individuals, if they fail to make a debate, what's the point? You ought to consider withdrawing from the race. But, ego's at stake here, and sometimes people don't make those decisions.
Well, and it's interesting. It's John Decker, Great Television's White House correspondent, Tapman's towing the phone line. It's very interesting. Democrats supposedly want Trump, but yet they're putting all these barricades. I mean, if somebody once said recently that if Biden won from the basement, can Trump win from the courthouse? And he might. Wouldn't he be recognized, Donald Trump, the number one most recognized face or person in the world right now?
Yeah, I think that's about right. Absolutely. That doesn't win you a presidency.
No, I'm just. But do they want Donald Trump? I mean, I'm fine with Nikki Haley. If Nikki Haley or somebody else pops up, I'm just suggesting that the policies that are in play right now, John Decker, in my opinion, are not real good for America. And if we do 4 more years of this, I don't know how good this is going to be.
Well, here's the thing, and this is, I think the problem for Republicans right now, and everything you just said is right on the money. And that's the race that Republicans want to run in 2024. But as we saw in 2020, the race in 2020 was all about Donald Trump, as it should be because he's running for re-election, right? The race in 2024 should be about Joe Biden because he's running for re-election in 2024. But as things stand today, I think this race is going to be about Donald Trump again. It's not going to be about Joe Biden's policies. It's not going to be about policies that you view and others view perhaps as not good for this country. And so that's the thing that Republicans as a party have to work themselves through. And, I think that next July, mid-July, when the Republicans have their convention, it will be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, have to figure out, okay, is Donald Trump our best candidate to win? And Nikki Haley, you hear her, she's been making this argument since that debate regularly that Donald Trump cannot win the general election. That's her argument. And we'll see if that argument picks up steam. Right now, it really hasn't. Donald Trump is far and away the leading frontrunner, leading by a large margin for the Republican nomination.
Who would have next in the Democratic Party?
If Joe Biden is not the nominee? Well, I mean, there are such built-in advantages for the vice president, for Kamala Harris. The primary process for Democrats begins in South Carolina, and we saw how important South Carolina was for Joe Biden in terms of ultimately winning the Democratic nomination. And I think it would similarly be very important for Kamala Harris if she was competing for the Democratic nomination. I mean, James Clyburn essentially got that race in Joe Biden's camp after he got destroyed in both Iowa and New Hampshire. I mean, South Carolina saved him. So, you start off the process. I don't know, how the process would play itself out, but you start out that process. If Joe Biden's out of the mix, with Kamala Harris winning the very first primary, that's South Carolina.
Okay, before I let you go, I don't know if I've ever played this for you, but I'm going to as we wind up today.
Let's hear it.
Okay, stand by. Here we go.
The governor and I, and we were all doing a tour of the library here and talking about the significance of the passage of time.
As long as the roots are not severed, all is well, and all will be well in the garden.
Right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs.
In a garden, Growth has its season. First comes spring and summer, but then we have fall and winter. And then we get spring and summer again.
And there is such great significance to the passage of time.
That's where I am with Kamala. So,
Yes,
you remember
Chauncey Gardner.
Yeah, wow.
Chauncey the Gardener being there. Phenomenal performance by Peter Sellers. Incredible movie. Yes,
Okay.
That's really good. I like the way you've done that. Very nice.
Well,
Nicely done.
lastly, since you're so smart,
Yes.
who is the president? Who is the president that named his dog Fido?
Oh, who named his dog Fido?
He named his dog Fido, and it kind of became a legendary dog name now.
How about that? I don't know the answer to that.
It's Abraham Lincoln. And he
no way.
He suffered with depression, and the dog really helped him. And he called him Fido. I saw that.
I did not know that.
That's a new one there, but that's a good trivia.
You're from the great state of Illinois. You should know all things Abraham.
I didn't know that one. I didn't know that one. Hey, John, appreciate your time, my friend. We can't wait to talk to you next Thursday.
Thanks, Stevie. We covered a lot of ground. I appreciate it. As always, have a great Labor Day weekend. Enjoy it, Stevie, and we'll talk next week.
Thank you, John Decker, on the Tapman's Towing phone line, ESPN 93.5. Nathanielson, did you know? Coming up.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana this Saturday, and this fine spell of late summertime weather continues on. No need to worry. Still plenty of summertime weather ahead on the maps and charts. Big warm-up and a late season heat wave weather pattern expected over the holiday weekend, and that warm one continues on well into next week, but at least minus the real oppressive humidity values across the area. Sunshine, comfortable day's worth of weather ahead for the day-to-day. Light easterly wind up to 77. Clear tonight, lows either side of 50. Tomorrow, September 1st, and a sunny sky and a warmer temperature up to about 83 degrees. Saturday outlook up to 88 in the afternoon. Will be around 80 at kickoff time. Dry skies, a light south wind anticipated. Rest of the holiday weekend getting hot, more humid Sunday afternoon. The high around 90 up to 94 on Monday. Could be a stray thunderstorm here late Tuesday into Wednesday. High temperatures there into the lower 90s. Slightly cooler, slightly drier. Still readings into the 80s next Thursday.
Pepsi-Cola Champaign-Urbana Bottling is getting summer started with some fresh new products. Take a break from the sun and get a taste of cool, crisp, refreshing, starry lemon lime flavored soda. Stay hydrated with Gatorade's new Fast Twitch energy drink and get your daily source of vitamin A and C with Gatorade Fit. Find your afternoon pick-me-up with Starbucks Caramel and White Chocolate Mocha Frappuccino mini cans. Order these delicious beverages and everything else with Pepsi-Cola Champaign-Urbana Bottling Company. Visit PepsiColaCU.com. Diane Ducey here with Nate Evans of eXp Realty. It's always a good time to sell your home.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less. We're going to be their law enforcement official of the month coming up. Sean Hallett, standby, Champaign County Sheriff. Also, in the next hour, Joe McCullough will be talking about the traffic pattern shifts for this football season. We'll give you all that information. And a brand new show called Smoke with an award-winning barbecue smoke guy. Stand by for that next hour as well. Did you know? It's a feature with my son Nathaniel in Chicago. I call him Nathaniel's son, tip of the cat to Karate Kid. And also, you know who he is now. Nathaniel!
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We love your tidbits of information every week. Did you know? What you got?
Well, hopefully it's valuable, and hopefully we all learned something. And this morning, we're going to talk about a topic that is still relevant to us all, maybe a little less than ones we've talked about previously, like sleep. But, Dad, I know you are particularly fond of our U.S. presidents.
Yes, I
am. This morning, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth on specifically Mount Rushmore. Now, Dad, I'll be curious to hear if any of what I share you know or knew. And back in 2019, we got to take a road trip to South Dakota, and that was at least my first time seeing it, at least in my memory. I think maybe I was there as a baby. But when we were there, we actually couldn't see it because it was covered in the clouds.
That's right.
So I still don't actually know if I can recall ever seeing Mount Rushmore. But pictures make it look great. And did you know that when it was originally envisioned, a South Dakota state historian named Dwayne Robinson originally wanted to put local leaders on the side of the mountain. He thought this would be a good way to boost local tourism. Now, he had a partner who was an American sculptor named Gutzon Borglum.
Yep.
And he ended up leading the project, and he convinced his counterpart, well, that if you want to draw tourism, you should put people of more national significance, like some U.S. presidents.
Oh.
So they started with George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, and then they ended up adding Thomas Jefferson and Theodore Roosevelt. And the four were selected because they would encapsulate and recognize the nation's birth, growth, development, and preservation.
Yes. Now, Gustav Berglund was the guy that hired all the men to, and I don't know how you carve a nose out of rock, and what if the nose falls off? I don't know how they did that, Nathaniel. It's crazy.
You know, it sounded like, so they started the project in 1930, and then they were able to use some, quote-unquote modern technology for them, like things like actual drills and pneumatic hammers, not just hammers and chisels like, things like the Sphinx was done in ancient Egypt, for example. But another interesting fact, you may be wondering, well, why is it called Mount Rushmore? Well, the mountain actually got its name about 50 years before any work on the monument started. A lawyer from New York named Charles Rushmore was traveling to South Dakota in 1885 to expect a claim, and he came upon the mountain, and he asked the local guy what the name of it was, and they said, well, we've never had a name, so from now on we'll call it Rushmore Peak, which eventually evolved into Mount Rushmore, and that's how it got its famous name.
Didn't know that. Well, that's fascinating stuff. It is a gorgeous place, and yes, worth visiting. And yes, the fog did fog it over. Remember the guy inside that was signing books? You remember that guy? He was in the
vaguely.
Yeah, he was a guy that was 98 years old. We were trying to take a picture. He said no pictures. He worked on the face. He was one of the workers.
Right.
He was 98, and he lived in the same house all his life, 2 miles from the entire event, 2 miles down the hill. That's where he lived, and he still lived there at 98 and was selling some books. Unbelievable. Mount Rushmore. Did you know? Nathaniel's son. Well done.
Hey, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
We'll talk to you
now
next.
We all know where it came from.
Yeah, and a lawyer from New York, it was Rushmore. That's how we got it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Never knew it. Nathaniel's son, appreciate you. Thank you. We'll call you next week.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
You as well. Nathaniel, my son in Chicago with Did You Know? 7:57. All right, we're going to come back. Action-packed hour in the next 60 minutes. Stand by. The boys are on this afternoon with the drive from 3 to 5.
That's right.
P is live tomorrow.
After 3, make sure you're joining us at 1609 West Springfield Avenue.
Crossroads Contractor Supply, bringing us our Stevie Jay Broadcasting Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
We just celebrate police because they ought to be celebrated, folks. Difference between anarchy and peace. We have Officer Chloe Folks. She is our Law Enforcement Official of the Month. She's at the Urbana Police Department. How do you stay positive when you see the bad guys all the time?
My coworkers, the family, the camaraderie we have, we're all there for each other. Our goal is to make sure everybody gets home safely at the end of the night or the day. It's really just the family atmosphere that keeps me going.
So if you see something not so good, you're able to say, shut it off?
Yeah, you got to have some kind of emotional detachment and separate work from home. It's hard sometimes. We have through EAP and different work things that we can have help us kind of through that. But like I said, it's really my coworkers that get me through it. And, we maintain a positive attitude just so we can help each other get home at the end of the day. And sometimes we face hard things, but we get through it.
Crossroads Contractor Supply, delivering within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana, supporting our Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
Here's what new customers are saying about Interstate Batteries.
It's nice to see capable and helpful associates. They did a top-notch job.
They were easy to talk to and explained everything.
Service was prompt and I was a walk-in. Total service time was only like 20 minutes. I highly recommend Interstate Batteries.
Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. How much is dependable worth? Experience them for the first time at 2504 North Mattis. Way out there, but worth the drive. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
Visit interstatebatteries.com.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne, home of their award-winning Honda dealership, a double recipient of the prestigious Honda President's Award. With a legacy of excellence, they offer you the finest selection of Honda vehicles backed by unparalleled customer service. As a two-time winner, they're committed to exceeding your expectations. Visit them today at Route 45 at Burwash or Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, Champagne.com. Sarah Champagne, home of Honda, BMW, Subaru, Buick, and GMC. That's sarahchampagne.com.
Tapman's Towing team of experienced tow professionals is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Coach House Garages is celebrating their 50th anniversary. And now through December, when you purchase a garage, you can enter to win 5% off. Just visit CoachHouseGarages.com. That's CoachHouseGarages.com. Or call Chuck Ruth. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Idalia still churning up the East Coast. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It'll go out to sea soon, but
we still aren't done yet. We still have the potential of this tropical storm bringing gusty winds as well as heavy rainfall up to 10 inches in some of these areas.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean, Idalia's flooded areas of the Carolina coast and Georgia, where a man was killed by a falling tree. There's a lot of damage where the hurricane first hit.
This roof was completely torn off of this house. Other parts of the roof have been pushed up against this power line. There are couches strewn all about.
Fox Business's Grady Trimble in Keaton Beach, Florida.
We have seen power crews in the area, but 99% of this county, Taylor County, still without power this morning, and it could be a while before it comes back online.
300,000 power outages remain from there to the Carolinas. They're searching for more victims in the smoldering ruins of a 5-story building that burned in Johannesburg, South Africa early this morning. At least 73 people were killed. A South African official says it was a haven for criminal gangs.
Some of these buildings, if not most of them, are actually in the hands of those cartels who collect rental from our people.
Dozens of other people were injured. In northern Italy, an out-of-service train with no passengers on board smashed into a group of workers doing nighttime track maintenance, killing 5 of them. North Korea is at it again.
North Korea's military says it fired 2 tactical ballistic missiles from Pyongyang on Wednesday night as practice scorched earth nuclear strikes on South Korea that would target major command centers and operational airfields.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. The launches come after more U.S.-South Korean military exercises. There's news on the economy showing a slight increase in year-over-year inflation. In a Commerce Department gauge, the Federal Reserve tracks closely. Prices rose 0.2% in July over June. The annual inflation rate rose from 3 to 3.3%. America's listening to Fox News.
Lowe's knows how to save pros time and money. Right now, save $50 on select DeWalt power tools. And there's more. Now through September 1st, earn 3 times the bonus points per dollar on reliable primed pine boards. Visit us in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. DeWalt offer valid 8/1 through 10/28. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts if any. Valid through 9/1.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
While FEMA is doing the federal response to Hurricane Idalia, President Biden says,
while we're dealing with this latest extreme weather event, I remain laser focused on recovering and rebuilding efforts in Maui,
where hundreds of people remain missing from the wildfire disaster and burning down the town of Lahaina in Maui. There are 100 15 confirmed deaths. There's a concern about a glitch affecting Americans on Medicaid.
The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services is asking states to review their automated Medicaid rules to make sure children aren't being kicked off the program, specifically to make sure eligibility for children is being reviewed separately from their parents. CMS says in a statement to Fox, it appears more than a dozen states were impacted by an issue that prevented automatic renewal to Medicaid. Automatic renewal is encouraged after reviewing household income and benefit information. People are typically only dropped after failing to respond to further inquiry about their eligibility. During the pandemic, there was a freeze on dropping people from Medicaid. And before that freeze ended this year, 23 million more people had signed up. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Another red state's taking action on a controversial gender issue.
Republican Governor of Nebraska Jim Pillen signs the Women's Bill of Rights, an executive order directing schools and state agencies to define a person's sex as either female or male as assigned at birth. While it does not use the term transgender, it seems to limit transgender individuals' access to certain public spaces. In a statement, Pillen says, as governor, it is my duty to protect our kids and women's athletics, which means providing single-sex spaces for women's sports, bathrooms, and changing rooms. The order takes effect immediately, but will expire if state lawmakers pass a law to prohibit Nebraska students from using a locker room or playing on a team that does not correspond with their sex assigned at birth.
That's Kristen Goodwin. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A 16-year-old recovering after they were shot in the hand Tuesday morning in Rantoul. It happened near the intersection of Hamilton Drive and Cantonment Avenue. Police say the suspect shot into the upstairs bedrooms of an apartment with 4 inside, hitting one of them, the teen victim, taken to a hospital for treatment. Governor and other state officials made a stop at the Farm Progress Show in Decatur Tuesday, announcing the expansion of a mental health program aimed at helping farmers through a partnership with the SIU School of Medicine and FFA Foundation. Farmers in every county in the state will have access to a mental health hotline and telehealth mental health care. Champaign City Manager Dorothy Ann David announcing the appointment of a new neighborhood services director Monday. Rob Kowalski, who currently serves as Assistant Director of Cities Planning and Development, will start his new role October the 9th. Kowalski has been with the city since 2005. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim Miller, ESPN 93.5, meteorologist Greg Solier. Talk to me, buddy. What are you seeing out there besides beautiful in East Central Illinois?
Well, just that, and boy, you got to go a couple of hundred miles in just about any direction to come up with any degree of cloudiness. All the weather action off north and northwest, from Canadian smoke through the northern plains, and a couple of showers across the Dakotas, and some welcome moisture to the Pacific Northwest. Real super high humidity in the wake of Adelia down through the central and eastern Gulf Coast. That's going to breed some more rainfall there. They're cleaning up and assessing the damage southern Georgia down through Florida, and still there's some semblance of at least tropical storm Adelia, 70 miles or so south-southwest of about Wilmington, North Carolina, moving off east-northeast, and right ahead of it is Franklin, but getting sheared off by strengthening winds up aloft. And then 1, 2, 3 more weather systems, including Tropical Storm Jose, 30% chance for one more little system between Franklin and Jose to develop, and then a likelihood of a system coming off the African coast, but everything running into the open Atlantic, and most everything likely to get sheared off from a tropical weather standpoint here the next 5 to 7 days. That means high pressure aloft. That means another big warm-up coming our way. Drought monitor from this morning. Still drier areas, but generally in a fairly good shape considering the ongoing, the expanding dryness and drought-related issues, Wisconsin and Iowa. 53 now, Willard and Savoy. Later on today, we'll warm up nicely to an afternoon high at around about 80 degrees or thereabouts, upper 70s and low 80s with sunshiny skies, and the breeze that will be coming around into the east and southeast. No big weather issues heading on through the day tomorrow and into the upcoming weekend around here. Big warm-up is slated. High temperature after a low tonight of about 51 to 83 tomorrow on this first day of September. 88 the forecast high Saturday afternoon. Low 80s at kickoff, mid to upper 70s during halftime, and low 70s at the end of the game. But beautiful Saturday evening. Then 90 on Sunday. Humidity climbs. 94 Monday. Low 90s Tuesday and Wednesday. Scant chance of rain. Back to slightly cooler, slightly drier air late next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Dolchus, Greg Soldier.
All right, thank you, Greg. We appreciate it. Here at Stevie Jay Broadcasting, we honor law enforcement. We just do it every single month because they deserve to be honored. And we're thrilled to have Sean Hallett in our studio. 5th year with St. Joe Ogden's High School, 20 years with the Champaign County Sheriff. He also works with grade schools, Prairie View Ogden, students from Flatville, Ogden, Royal. He's originally from Catlin. He's a 7-year veteran of the U.S. Coast Guard. And ladies and gentlemen, the first time ever, our law enforcement official of the month on his birthday. Happy birthday, Sean
Hallett.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for having me here.
Well, this is a toast to you on your birthday, and I need to see some identification, sir. You don't look like a grandfather. You're a grandfather?
Yes, I am. I'm a pawpaw of one to Briggs.
Nice.
You got 3 girls and a boy, children?
I do. I have three girls, and my boy is my youngest, and he's currently going to St. Joseph Ogden High School.
All right.
Okay.
So what is it like being a resource officer at St. Joe Ogden and area?
To be the resource officer is pretty rewarding, just to build that connection with the kids at the lower levels and into high school. Last year marked my 4th year there, so I got to see a class from their freshmen on through graduation and just see their maturity and how they grew as a student and now what they're doing after school, and to see them outside of school and then for them to come up and say hi is pretty rewarding.
Is it surprising to you the perception of police that some kids have?
No, it's not surprising because I think there's a lot of negative at times about police, and obviously I do understand that some of the students have had negative encounters with police. So just trying to bridge that gap, that disconnect between law enforcement and the public in general is probably the biggest thing I like to do within the school.
Why do you like the work?
I enjoy just being around kids in general. To see the smiles on the kids' face when you come in, especially elementary, and they want to give you the fist bumps and the high fives, and they seem to look up to you as you're there to protect them and keep them safe. And man, I said that's just rewarding in itself.
Right. The Royal, it's kindergarten through 4th grade. Ogden, kindergarten through 6th grade. Flatville, 7th and 8th graders. That would be some challenging years. Plus, you've got the grade school, middle school, and high school in St. Joe Ogden. So these kids are all ages.
They are all ages, and sometimes it's easier to connect with the younger ones than it is to those that are already in high school. But to be a consistent face for those kids and to see them walking in the hallways, especially in the high school, you start building that rapport. And yeah, you wear many hats within the high school. I mean, you are a law enforcement officer first to keep them safe, but you're also a mentor. Sometimes you are one of those mental therapists that people come in because they just need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
So you get to do a little bit of everything within the high school range.
But Sean, it's possible that you're changing lives from the standpoint of people might go into the law enforcement world because of you.
I'm glad you said that because I have had a couple students who have expressed interest in law enforcement. And whether it's because of me or because maybe something that they see me do or see others do and that have made a positive impact on them throughout their life. Policing is a lot different than it was when I started back in 2004 with the sheriff's office. But at the end of the day, we still need good, solid men and women who will come out and do the job and be respectful and do it the right way.
Do you like body cam?
Initially, no, but I think body cams now is just a normal for us, and I think at times it definitely can protect you because not everyone is honest as to what happens.
I was going to say I like them because it proves what you did was what you did. I mean, it verifies and vindicates you on your actions because you're all trained to do what you're supposed to do, and sometimes people make claims that are absolutely a lie. So
100% correct, and the sheriff's office policy now, obviously, anytime we have contact with the public, we activate our body cams, and it protects us as law enforcement officers, but also it protects those that you're having contact with.
Staying on that recruitment vein and being inspirational for some of our young people, how did you get started in this?
Growing up, I grew up in a small town of Catlin. I kind of the police chief, everyone knew, and then I had a friend's dad who was a police officer, so I kind of was around that a little bit, but really didn't know where I wanted to go. I went into the U.S. Coast Guard, so...
It's because your buddy.
Yeah.
It was your buddy's idea.
And
you...
someone from the Midwest in the Coast Guard, Sean.
So did you know what you were getting into?
Really, I didn't. My buddy, Jason Hagan, attended a recruitment with the Coast Guard recruiter there at the school. I didn't go, and he said, hey, we probably should do this. We can go on the buddy program. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So,
my gosh, what did your parents say?
You know, they were very supportive. I think, like any parent, a little apprehensive that now your son is going to be going away and joining the military. Obviously, the U.S. Coast Guard was Department of Transportation, so we really weren't on the front lines, more of humanitarian service. And I think, obviously, with that time that I did there, it transferred over to law enforcement because that's what we're doing. We're acts of service and we're taking care of people.
And you ended up doing more mechanical work then.
In the Coast Guard, I was certified diesel mechanic, so I turned a lot of wrenches. But
you kept the helicopters running, man. I mean, stuff like that, trucks and
mostly the Coast Guard cutter I was on. I was down in the engine room making sure it was running on the water.
Okay.
And
dang, if I ever get an engine room on the water, I'm calling you, man.
Yeah, you know, I spent a couple of years in Miami on a cutter, and then I came up to Chicago because I thought I wanted to get closer to home, and I spent 5 years on Lake Michigan on a small boat station, and so 7 years total, and here I am today, so I think it all worked out.
Well, thank you for serving your nation. We appreciate that very much, and I would say Sean Hallett, if I'm accurate, just confirm it, but I would say Sean Hallett has a heart to help.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
And I tell you what, your buddies in the sheriff's department said, make sure you bring up pork chop on the air when I saw them at a festival backstage this weekend. Should you share the pork chop story?
For the county fair, right?
Well, you know, I've had the name pork chop for years at the sheriff's office, and that's fine, but I'll have to talk to them guys later about that. But
You were carrying a bunch of pork chops from the county fair Methodist church tent and carrying them for friends, and they laughed.
Yeah, I think it started there at the fair. I think it depends on who you talk to on how it originated, but however it originated, it actually stuck. So there's multiple variations. There's pork chop, there's pea chop, but you know, they know, and I know that's who I am with the sheriff's office, and I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to do another 20 years of sheriff work, or probably not that much more, huh?
You know, I don't know. As you mentioned earlier, today's my birthday, so I could officially start my 365-day clock today.
Really?
Wow. Because I will have the age and I'll have time a year from now. But, you know, with my son being a sophomore this year at St. Joe High School, and I like maybe see him through high school if that's what we're going to do. But, you know, it's not I dislike law enforcement at all. I think at some point, though, you just have to you have to know when your time's up. But as long as I'm enjoying it, I'm going to continue doing it.
We appreciate all you do, keeping the kids safe, keeping the schools safe, and just being out there and not being afraid and not hesitating to help us if there's danger. And it's a rare breed that does that, Sean, and you're celebrated today on your birthday. We congratulate you for being the September Law Enforcement Official of the Month. We're going to run bits of this interview on 4 radio stations, and we're proud of you and we're excited about it.
Well, thank you very much, Stevie, and thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming in. Sean Hallett, our Law Enforcement Official of the Month, ESPN 93.5, 817. It's Emily Atkins. She owns something called Happy Healing. Tell me about what you have planned coming up.
September 9th, we have our spiritual spa day. We have 3 wellness practitioners coming. We have Brenda, who does sound bowl healings with crystal bowls, Drea, who does facials, and we have Emily, who does massages. So we'll be selling tickets, and so you'll have a half hour of each, and then I'll be there and we can make candles too. You can go to the website, happyhealing.us.
Crossroads Contractor Supply specializes in the delivery of tools and supplies within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana. Reliable, timely, and with reasonable prices, Crossroads Contractor Supply knows what equipment and tools are needed for your job. Get the job done right with proper tools and equipment. Did something break? Construction materials, tools, as well as safety equipment, all available. at Crossroads Contractor Supply. Visit CrossroadsContractorSupplyIL.com.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights, we switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, the Brian Hansen State Farm Agency right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over and you can start saving today. Our team is ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With the Brian Hansen State Farm Agency, it's easy to switch and save. Just give our team a call at 217-344-1900 when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Join the Champaign Parks Foundation for a fun evening of food, socializing, and entertainment at the iHotel and Conference Center with Champaign Park District's Youth Scholarship Fund to benefit from the new Ties and Tennies Gala. It's coming up on Thursday, September 14th, and you'll enjoy dueling pianos, a plated dinner, complimentary wine and beer, live and silent auction, and featured speaker Team USA Paralympian sitting volleyball player Nicole Millage. Learn more details. Visit champaignparks.org. As the summer temperatures rise, make sure your energy bills stay low. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing to upgrade to a high-efficiency Lennox air conditioner. Dogtown offers financing, including 0% no interest for qualifying customers. And if you have rooms in your house that don't seem to stay cool, call and ask about the great rebates on the Daikin Douglas mini splits. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Really enjoy our segments with our heroes, and I call them heroes for being out there on the front lines and helping and protecting us, and we appreciate Sean Hallett for coming in. Every guest on the phone line is the Tapman's Towing phone line. Fox Business Minute coming up. We're going to meet David Bambry, be named as a new president now of the U of I Alumni Association. Excited to talk to him about the weekend and ahead. It is 8:20, ESPN 93.5.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The latest reading on inflation isn't offering much hope of prices cooling. The PCE reading up 3.3% for the year ending in July. Core PCE, excluding food and energy, rose 4.2%, though the monthly increases were relatively flat. Also, new claims for unemployment benefits came in at 228,000 last week, still in the range of a tight labor market. Outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas says job cuts from U.S. employers tripled in August from July. There were more than 75,000 cuts announced. Most were in warehousing as a result of Yellow Trucking's bankruptcy. Ollie's Bargain Outlet reported a higher profit and sales, but Dollar General slashed its outlook. Its earnings were disappointing. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
5 inches of rain by tomorrow.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
When you're looking for a business to work with, you choose someone local, someone who's terrific at what they do, a company that helps others in need in Champaign-Urbana, and a company that stands behind what they do. That company is Roof Doctors. Roof Doctors has been keeping the rain out for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy and their family work hard to not only make sure you're 100% satisfied by their work, but that they also strive to have a positive impact on Champaign-Urbana. Roof Doctors in Urbana, they make you their number one priority.
No matter what, it takes a great team to win. And in Fairbury, Aftershock Decals and Design wins consistently. And it's the all-star team that makes it happen. Do you have what it takes to be a part of this winning team? Aftershock Decals and Designs is recruiting. If you are looking to join this all-star team and you have 2 years of experience in either graphics design or wrap installations, we want you. AftershockDD.com/jobs. Aftershock Decals and Design is an equal opportunity employer. That's a wrap. Get noticed.
In time for tailgating, Smoke, our new show coming up in about 15 minutes with Tim Onstadt from Gale Ferrix Trucking and Dedicated Diesel. And he's one of the best in America at smoking and grilling and all those fun things. Well, happy to welcome to the program the new president of the U of I Alumni Association, David Bambry. David, good morning.
Stevie, great to be with you. Thanks so much for having me on.
I want to tip my cap to Jen Delavu, who I love very much. She was a wonderful woman. She passed away months ago. You're going to take over for Jen, and we are wishing you the very, very best. But big shoes to fill, David.
It really is, and stylish shoes at that. If you knew Jen, you knew she was a style icon, but big shoes to fill nonetheless. She was just a leader in this industry, and obviously being from Champaign and being an alumna of the university, I've got a lot to live up to, but looking forward to the challenge. And having been here about 5 years now, I kind of have gotten to know our great alumni, and I'm super excited to get started in this new role.
Tell you what, David, it seemed to me to be a perfect pick. You've been here, you know the landscape, you know everything. You know, I guess this is probably normal everywhere. When your basketball and football teams get really good, everybody is on the bandwagon, which is a good thing, right? I mean, you get better response when we're winning, right?
I'd rather have it that way than otherwise, right? And I think we've got fantastic momentum, with athletics here, obviously, but just the university at large with, the work that Chancellor Jones and the whole leadership team's doing. It's a great time to be at Illinois and a great time to be involved with the Alumni Association and everything that's going on.
What are some of the perks if you were to join the U of I Alumni Association? I know the list is rather long, but can you hit some highlights? I'm actually on UIAA.org's website right now, and it's so exciting.
It really is, Diane. And, we do have our paid annual membership program. Our life members can take a part of take part in all of those benefits as well. But as you mentioned, just a laundry list of things here. We've got some great partnerships with our friends in athletics, some discounts on tickets over there. We've got some exclusive events with the Krannert Center for the Performing Arts and the Krannert Art Museum. We're just launching a new benefit with Ollie at Illinois. So for the lifelong learning community, we've got a new discount for UIAA members with Ollie as well. So we're super excited to bring that to our alumni as well.
And even if alumni want to kind of give back to our U of I students, this kind of networking, the Illini Link, that's a terrific idea.
Well, thank you. Yes, we launched the Illini Link probably about 2 to 3 years ago. At this point, it was during the pandemic, so that was we thought a great time to bring that on board. As you mentioned, it's an online networking and mentorship platform open to all alumni and students. So that is not a member exclusive benefit. We've got over 9,000 people on that platform. So about 6,500 alumni, about 2,500 students. As you mentioned, it's a great way for our alumni to give back to the current students and help other alumni along the way as well.
And the Alice Campbell Alumni Center, what a gem right there in the heart of campus, right off of Lincoln.
It really is, and we try to utilize the building as much as possible. Certainly, if you're in town, or obviously if you live in Champaign, come by to see us. I get to call that home every day, which is just fantastic. We've got the Richmond Family Welcome Gallery on the first floor that was introduced a few years ago. You can really reminisce about some of the great history of the university, and those exhibits are changing, over time as well. So certainly want to open that up even more so to the community. We do host events there as well. So if you're looking for a space to host an event, give us a call. We'd love to be a part of that too.
Do you have to be a U of I alumni member to rent the Alice Campbell Alumni Association building?
You do not. That is open to everybody, community, alumni, folks from out of town. We'd be glad to host you there.
I would like to have a one-on-one meeting upstairs with you at that big table. Just you and me.
I would welcome that.
I would want you to be at the other end, and I'd be at the other end. David, I said, how have you been? That's the biggest.
Or how about pass the salt, do it shuffleboard style?
You have to do it that way, and it'd be great for table football. It'd be really cool. Anyway, how'd they get that up there? I mean, was that before the building was built? That table is so big.
It's a great question, Stevie. I need to talk to some people on my end about that. I think they brought it in pieces, but, there's a couple different stories about how that came to be. So I don't want to start any rumors there that aren't true.
Hey, so is it us as number one? Is Penn State still trying to claim that they're the number one alumni, or is it Illinois?
In my heart, it's Illinois. That's for sure. I think Penn State, because they can count their branch campuses, I think maybe they claim that they're a little bit bigger than us. But I think we can claim that, and I certainly will.
Even though Coach was from Pennsylvania, Coach Ditka, I'd probably say this in all due respect to my Penn State friends.
Shut up.
Yeah, I mean it. Come on, it's Illinois. Give me a break. Come on, man.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, Stevie.
Well, we're excited for tailgating, man. We got a whole day of that coming up Saturday. Fired up for the Big Ten?
Absolutely. I'm so ready for football season again, and, really excited about the Illini this year. Coach Bielema has, obviously changed the culture of the program and really, gotten us on a great track here. We're heading to Kansas next week as the Alumni Association, so we'll be doing a pregame event out there with our partners in athletics. So certainly if you're making the trip to Lawrence, it's a pretty short drive down the road. Come and see us before the game, and then obviously get in the stadium and make some noise for the Illini.
Hey,
as well.
David Bambrey, Bambrey, the new president of the U of I Alumni Association. Can people connect with you in any way, David?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on LinkedIn, and certainly, feel free to shoot me an email. It's just my last name at illinois.edu. Or as we talked about, come and say hello at Alice Campbell Alumni Center, or at one of our alumni events around town or around the country as well. I'd love to meet you. Love to say hello. I've gotten to know the Illini community in my 5 years here, but certainly want to continue to expand that in the years ahead, and I'm really excited to be doing that.
Well, and good things happening for homecoming, October 15th through the 21st, so we'll be staying tuned for that inside the next few months, but I know we're just getting out of the gate starting the season, so I won't get too far ahead of myself here.
Well, we want to...
No, we're thinking homecoming all the time, so we're excited about that, and already... plans are certainly underway and have been for months. So folks will start to see much more information about that in the next couple of weeks.
But just so people know, it's the Friday night parade, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
We do have that information this year, Friday night parade. And then, we've got an exhibition basketball game that night. So certainly combining some seasons there, which we're excited about as well.
Yes.
And then, the big game on Saturday.
David Bambrey, we wish you the best, sir. We look forward to our visits in the future, but thanks for being on today.
Thanks, Stevie. Always a pleasure. Appreciate you having me on. And go Illini, ILL.
I&I, U of I Alumni Association new president is David Bambrey. We wish him the best and congratulations. ESPN 93.5, the news is coming up. Then our show called Smoke. You need help on the grill? I got a guy.
Awesome.
I got a guy, and we'll pick his brain for a few minutes. Joe McCullough for U of I Police has the new traffic route. You might not be able to go where you thought you were going to go. A whole new deal here. We'll explain that coming up in moments as well. It's 8:30 now.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Tropical storm Idalia spinning 60-mile-an-hour wind and rain across North Carolina with a 1 to 4 foot storm surge on its way out. Power is out to 50,000 in the Carolinas, 100,000 in Georgia, with big progress from 30,000 utility crews in Florida.
We've since restored 370,000 power to customers.
Governor Ron DeSantis, 150,000 still out, including 99% near the Big Bend landfall, getting a look at damage to homes swamped or collapsed. President Biden promising FEMA help and says he trusts his presidential rival, Ron DeSantis.
I think he trusts my judgment and my desire to help. And I trust him to be able to suggest that this is not about politics. It's about taking care of the people of the state.
But Biden admits he doesn't know if FEMA will have money to cover all the current disasters. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois expanding access to mental health services of rural farmers and agricultural communities. The state announcing funding for the Farm Family Resource Initiative. The program created initially as a pilot program covering 6 Illinois counties, providing telehealth and mental health access. State and local health officials unable to determine the source of 3 Legionnaire's disease cases in Findlay. All 3 reported between July 30th and August 4. The Department of Public Health in Shelby County
shut up.
Testing on the environmental samples hasn't identified the definitive source of the exposure. 2 Decatur firefighters recovering after battling a blaze at the ADM's East plant. It broke out Monday at the facility. The plant evacuated. All employees were safely accounted for. Crews were on scene for 12 hours. 2 firefighters sent to hospitals with minor injuries. Again, that fire is under investigation. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yeah, we don't know where Coach came into that. I'm not sure how that happened. Anyway, here we go with our weather, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
Free fitness class week this week. If you want to check that out, urbanaparks.org has all the details. It goes until tomorrow, so get your free fitness classes in this week with the Urbana Park District.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. Well, quiet, comfortable weather continues on here. Still some problematic tropical weather into the eastern Carolinas from Idalia. Matter of fact, there are upwards of 4 more systems organizing across the waters from the central Atlantic to off the African coast, but no sign of those coming back into the mainland. Still keeping an eye on Franklin, Jose, and 2 more systems out there in the tropical waters. Anything but tropical for the day today. Sun-filled, comfortable, light east wind, 77 the high, lows near 54 tonight. Into the holiday weekend, September 1st tomorrow with a sunny, warmer high of 83. Football Saturday, 88 in the afternoon, close to 80 at kickoff time. Bit of a south breeze, dry skies, more humidity in the air for Sunday and Monday. Not quite the oppressive feel though. Highs near 90 on Sunday, 94 Monday, lower 90s, and a couple of isolated thunderstorms possible late Tuesday into Wednesday. Slightly cooler, drier air still into the 80s next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Coach House Garages is celebrating their 50th anniversary. And now through December, when you purchase a garage, you can enter to win 5% off. Just visit CoachHouseGarages.com. That's CoachHouseGarages.com. Or call Chuck Ruth.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
And now, a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever. With award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Smoke in Tim's Grill. He's the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's Grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Gail Ferrick's Trucking Dedicated Diesel, where the Dixie Chopper lives. There you go, Tim. The new theme. How are you?
Good morning, Steve and Diane. That's funny. I like that.
Well, Tim Onstadt, how did you get into this? I mean, it's one thing for me, Stevie J, to go to the backyard and do what I do on the grill, which isn't much. And it's another thing to actually prepare and compete. How'd this happen?
Well, we always cook on the grill. That's something that guys do. So we've always done that. And then our son was playing football at Lindenwood University, Belleville, and we did the tailgates all the time down there. And we cooked a bunch of ribs, and everybody was just praising them and said, well, you ought to go on Pitmasters. You ought to compete with this or open a restaurant. We weren't going to open a restaurant, so we did the competition side, and we're humbled very, very quickly. Those guys were the best, and our good ribs for neighbors and friends were bad for competition.
Was your wife Donna in on this, Tim? I mean, did you have to convince her?
Yeah, I had to convince her. I told her that I wasn't going to sit. We were empty nesters, and I told her I wasn't going to sit and watch her on the couch with that iPad for the next 20 years. So we had to find a hobby, and was flipping through channels, and Pitmasters came on, and we talked about the tailgates and all of that, and decided to go for it. And I kind of found my passion at 52. So.
Well, that's pretty awesome. And again, when I mentioned brisket, you were in a competition last year and got a perfect score and won against a bunch of really nationally known people. How'd that feel when you broke through?
Oh, it was good. We've competed with those guys before and beat them in some competitions, but to hit that perfect score and beat them all at once was nice.
It's Nadia Comaneci on the phone. The perfect 10, the gymnast that won in the 70s.
You go.
Anyway, it's a Tim Onstad. All right, so firstly, we got tailgating, we got grilling. Guys are trying, and women, I'm sure a lot of women love grilling too. But let me just ask you, I'm told the secret, a lot of it is what meat you buy and where you get it. How do you pick the meat?
Well, you gotta really look at it. We're looking for meat with, no matter what it is, with good marbling in the meat, not just the hard fat around it. That stuff does not render out. It doesn't cook. It doesn't flavor the meat. What flavors it is the marbling. And to do that, well, I mean, we went the whole gamut of box stores, grocery stores, all of that. I mean, Smithfield, some of those Tyson, they put out some decent meat. But really, to get down to good flavor, you want to try to get a relationship with a local butcher shop.
Ah, okay.
I mean, down here we use Croc's locally in Terre Haute and Farmersburg, but there are small butcher shops, and the meat is fresher. You can talk to them, get what you want, explain what you're wanting to do, and they will work with you to try to get it.
We've talked in the past about Gale Ferrex trucking, dedicated diesel, and price of diesel and gas and all these other things. Price of meat's really gone up, right?
Well, it goes back and forth a little bit. Pork is actually down a little bit right now. Brisket is holding steady. But I'm blessed that GFT and Gale and all the employees allow me to pursue that hobby and once in a while get invited to cook for them. Doing Gale's fraternity alumni tailgate Alpha Gamma Rho this weekend, and we're excited about that, and it's fun to get invited to do those things.
I'm not an Alpha Gamma Rho, but I'm coming. Is that going to be okay?
You know you're always welcome, and if Diane doesn't have to do her emergency responder DJ gig this weekend, I'd love to have her there too. She has to leave early.
I'm coming.
Before we wrap up our first show called Smoke with Tim Onstad, award-winning competition pitmaster. So I got marbled meat. What's the secret to preparing? I don't know. Fill in the blank. Whatever meat I'm buying, I know it varies. But let's just take steaks. If I'm going to marble and get good marbled steaks, ribeye, something. What's my secret here? How do I do it?
Well, you want to get it with ribeye. You want to get a little bit of marinade in there. We've done some steak cook-off association cooks. Finished top 10, but we've not won one, and those guys are good too. And I think it's a high heat, getting a good sear on the meat, and then hitting that perfect 140, 145 medium temperature. You don't want to cook it that hot. You want to get it close to there, and it'll still cook after you pull it off the grill.
How long does it cook? I always wonder that because I like medium rare, so it's not going to take real long if I have the heat up. But how much cooking does it do after?
It'll come up 7 to 15 degrees, depending on how hot and how long you leave it on.
So I need to pull that. What's medium rare? 140? What is medium rare?
Yep, 140.
So I need to pull it up about 130, 125.
Yep.
Okay. And do you stick something in the middle of the meat to make sure the temperature is where you want it?
Oh, yeah, we use, and that's another thing, a high-quality thermometer that is going to give you a good reading. We use Thermapen, but there are other good ones out there. I've had some in the past that are not accurate. So you want to make sure that you're accurate with that.
Tim, you're the best. We love this. And we're going to invite people as we go to text in a question if you've got anything for Tim Onstad, who knows how to do this stuff and is very successful at it. And I'll be wandering around your brisket thing on Saturday. So, and also, by the way, I called Kent Brown. And I told that big, tall drink of water that Tim would love you to come by. So he's going to try and come by as well. And so we'll try and find you on Saturday. But Tim, you're the best. We appreciate you very much. Excited to get better at what I'm doing because I need help. I can get it done. I can prepare something, but I'd really like to prepare it. The marinade for the ribeye, what would you suggest?
There's a ton of stuff out there, and that's the one thing. We found that we can buy better than we can make.
Okay.
And it all depends on your taste buds and what you're looking for.
But you're suggesting there's a lot to pick from. That's good.
Oh yeah, there's a lot, and usually we'll use a beef base and mix it with something else, a beef broth base and mix it with something else, just to add a little bit of flavor in there.
Sound like a PhD, baby. Tim Onstadt, thank you, brother. We appreciate you very much and look forward to this on Thursdays.
You guys are good for the Eagle. glad to be with you.
Talk soon. Good bet. Tim Onstadt, award-winning competition pitmaster with Gale Frericks Trucking and Dixie Chopper. That's a dedicated diesel who has the fastest lawnmower in the world.
That's right.
Dixie Chopper. It's fun. We're going to have fun on this on Thursdays.
Happy
and again,
tailgating.
You can text in a question now if it's on top of your mind, and we'll cover it next week. Just text 217-359-2255, 217-359-2255. Any grilling out questions, this is the guy.
Absolutely.
Traffic for football. Stand by. That's next.
Local, personal, trusted. Hi, this is Todd Durakan with First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, and we've been serving Champaign County since 1908. Our institution is safe, strong, and stable. We operate on a foundation of responsible and sound practices, and you can rest easy knowing we're your bank. Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial, Inc., fast, friendly, and local, with local loan decisions and underwriting. If you're not already banking with us, give us a try, and we think you'll love it here. First Federal Savings Bank, 356bank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 435120.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Illini fans, come out and enjoy 2 slices of Jets Detroit-style deep dish pizza and a cider ranch at Street Fest coming September 9th from 1 to 7 p.m. with the Chow Down in Campus Town. Bring $5 to 6th Street between Healy and Green Streets and get 2 slices of Jets' famous Detroit-style pizza with that signature crispy, crunchy, cheesy crust. Street Fest on Saturday, September 9th with 2 slices of Jets. Everybody loves Jets. Better because it has to be.
Everybody needs insurance, and that's why I love Kyle Lewis at Insurance Providers Group. This is Jay Lehman, All-American linebacker. Kyle provides auto, life, health, and all kinds of commercial lines of insurance. They are my one-stop shop for all my insurance needs, and all my rental properties are insured by IPG. That's why you need to email Kyle at IPGINS.com. Kyle at IPGINS.com.
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control, but there are steps that you can take to plan for a better financial future. Now is the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne, where your dream car awaits. With an exquisite selection of top-tier vehicles, impeccable service, and unbeatable prices, they are your ultimate destination for automotive excellence. Experience luxury, performance, and style like never before. Visit today and drive home in the vehicle you've always desired. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. Your journey towards automotive perfection starts here. Visit them at Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, Champagne.com. PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at PDRauto.com. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. All right, one of the finest law enforcement officials I've ever met is Joe McCullough, Assistant Chief of Police at the U of I Police. And he's, I wouldn't even begin to understand what you do, Joe. I wouldn't even give me a coloring book and crayons, okay? I can't do what... How do you think of traffic patterns and danger, perspective problems? How's the brain work like that, Joe McCullough?
Well, we have 120-ish fellow law enforcement officers working these games, and we get a lot of great ideas. We get a lot of input, and it's a team effort. Otherwise, it's a really stressful job, and it's not, because it's a great job to have, and it's a challenge. But we're looking absolutely forward to this season.
Okay, so we have some traffic pattern changes. We're going to go over some of these. You're never going to remember them all, so you want to go to fightingillini.com and look at the map, look at the traffic map. What are some of the big differences we're going to find on Saturday, Joe?
The biggest difference is that 4th Street area. If you're familiar with where the band marches down before the game, that's going to be closed for the duration of the day. That'll be closed 6 hours prior, and it won't open up till afterwards. So that's one of the biggest. The second one is Kirby Avenue right at Oak Street. If you're used to coming eastbound, you're going to have to divert on Oak Street. Those are just 2 changes we've made to allow pedestrians, fans, tailgaters, everybody else that are going to be just all in that dense area to not have to worry about vehicular traffic.
Okay, so you're just making it safer for the people that are walking around and park. If somebody's parking at State Farm, how do they get through? What avenue do they take?
We're just encouraging everybody for State Farm traffic to come from the south, whether that's St. Mary's, whether that's Windsor. Come in from the south. Have your mobile parking pass ready, or your regular parking pass. If you're doing drop-offs, just roll down the window and let the officers at the intersections know that's where we're going, and they'll get you through. We have extra staff out there to make sure we're flowing quickly. Another great option to park, Stevie, is there's a new parking deck at 4th and Pennsylvania, just opening. And it has several hundred game day spaces in it. You can purchase game day, very reasonably priced. You can actually purchase ahead of time on Parking's Park mobile app and have a reserved space in a deck right across the street from the stadium. And everybody that comes to that area needs to come down Pennsylvania from the Urbana side.
Okay, so that's over by the Stock Pavilion and the Graveyard area, right?
Right. So just come down Pennsylvania, and you can get right to 4th Street, right up to it where this parking structure is. Okay. Get a space right there. When the game's over, you can just get your car and exit east to Urbana, and we're looking forward to that. Getting some spaces closer.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are using like on Neal Street bank parking lots and for fundraisers.
Yep.
And that's all fine. But as you approach and around the stadium, there'll be some changes. And FightingIllini.com has the map to familiarize yourself.
Where is that map? Because I'm trying to click around here at FightingIllini.com. Do you know what tab it's under, Joe?
I don't have that up. I know we uploaded those maps on yesterday, so those got out, and they're also on our police Facebook site, and we push those out yesterday as well.
Okay. So U of I Police Facebook, I can find a map too.
Okay, good.
Because it'd be just good to take a look and say, I can't go that way anymore.
Right.
So once you brief yourself, it's no big deal. You just know what you're doing. That's all you need to do.
It's correct. It's just going to be some, it's just a little different that first game or two, but we anticipate that as long as, and I would say give yourself a few extra minutes. It's going to be a beautiful day.
Right.
Come on out. Some of those, our 11 a.m. kicks are we tend to have an influx of traffic, 45 minutes before the game. Well, that's when everyone's getting there. It's when the band's marching, everything else. So we just encourage people to come out, enjoy the atmosphere. It's great. It's going to be it's a good time just to be able to get there a little early and walk and check out everything that's going on.
Okay, and the drones, no drones, and you got capabilities to do radar on drones now?
We do. So we've had some issues here crop up in the last year. Where we've had some operators who just didn't know the rules, and then a couple that were borderline reckless. And so we're putting up some assistance for us in the software and hardware realm, where we can detect and identify who's flying a craft near or around the stadium, because it is illegal. It's against FAA policy and rules, regulations, and laws, especially on game days. And we want everybody inside the stadium, all our patrons and fans, to be safe, and we don't need unauthorized drones and remote control aircraft right over the stadium.
And depending on how reckless and dangerous it is, you could be arrested for something like that, I guess, if it goes too far.
Well, I mean, it is illegal. Our goal is just to educate, especially if we have somebody that, doesn't quite understand the rules. But we need to keep everybody safe inside that stadium, and having a bowling ball sized aircraft flying around is not ideal.
No, not this day and age, certainly. Joe McCullough, we appreciate it. So Facebook for the U of I Police Department page, there's a map there, or will be, and then also fightingline.com. Hopefully that pops up today as well. And just get a little read on it, understand what your route is to go where you're planning to park, and let's just have a great day, man.
Yeah.
Joe, we appreciate all the work that goes in to what you folks do to keep me safe and comfortable. And there's a lot of man hours, men and women doing this thing. So you've been planning this for a year. So we thank you. People don't understand how much work goes into this. And you guys go undetected, and you just keep it going. We certainly appreciate all your efforts.
Well, thanks, Stevie, for those kind words. I appreciate it. We do love our jobs, and it's a challenge. It's great, but we're looking forward to some good football and seeing everybody out there on Saturday.
Okay, my friend. Thanks, Joe. We appreciate you.
Talk to you soon.
That's Assistant Chief of U of I Police Department Joe McCullough on the Tapman's Towing phone line.
As the summer temperatures rise, make sure your energy bills stay low. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing to upgrade to a high-efficiency Lennox air conditioner. Dogtown offers financing, including 0% no interest for qualifying customers. And if you have rooms in your house that don't seem to stay cool, call and ask about the great rebates on the Daikin Douglas mini splits. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. All righty. So they are doing the race against Red Grange for the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast thing between the third and fourth quarter. So I don't know if they'll use a beam of light to represent the 77-yard race on the field. And then if you don't get somebody competitive, doesn't that poor soul get booed? I mean, how are you going to run that fast? I mean, they said Red Grange ran...
It's the Freaky Fast 77-yard dash from Jimmy John's. Freaky fast.
But what if they're freaky slow? I mean, you're going to have to find somebody that's at least... Because you're not beating Red Grange in a 77-yard dash.
You're supposed to, click on our fightingillini.com, nominate here form to nominate a student to compete against Red. So, wow.
Hopefully they're fast, because if you don't want to diss Red Grange,
exactly.
But you want somebody to earn it too. Interesting. Okay. Thank you, Diane. We shall return tomorrow, God willing. Thank you for being there.
Enjoy the day.
Talk to you soon. All right, I'm Stevie Jay. The boys on this afternoon. They were bumped yesterday for baseball. They'll be on today. It's Lonte and Derek Piper beginning at 3. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Get your weekend going. Thank you for listening. I'm Stevie Jay. Have a great Thursday. Here's what one shopper said about Pard's Western Shop in Urbana, 306 North Maple, between Maine and University. He said, sure, you can find boots at some big box stores, but nothing like Pard's selections. They're unique, they're local, and they have an excellent store. So many people that visit Pard's in Urbana say the same thing. Pard's in Urbana, 306 North Maple. You can find the best boots in the world and shop local. Visit pards.com. Pards.com. Welcome to Sarah Champagne, home of their award-winning Honda dealership, a double recipient of the prestigious Honda President's Award. With a legacy of excellence, they offer you the finest selection of Honda vehicles backed by unparalleled customer service. As a 2-time winner, they're committed to exceeding your expectations. Visit them today at Route 45 at Burwash or Sarah, SERRA, Champagne.com. Sarah Champagne, home of Honda, BMW, Subaru, Buick, Buick, and GMC. That's sarahchampagne.com. By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience. Several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Does your home have those annoying outdoor spigots that leak and have no pressure? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing can help. Install a new Woodford outdoor spigot so your gardens and flowers don't suffer in this summer heat. Make sure your home's outdoors look great and call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
What kind of bedside manner would you like your doctor to have? At Roof Doctors, they make sure you feel good about what they can do for you. They make sure they answer all of your questions and feel comfortable about whatever procedure your roof needs. Roof Doctors has helped customers for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy have helped make lives better in our community with their generosity and kindness. Roof Doctors is a company you can trust if you need anything done on your roof. Roof Doctors in Urbana, they make you their #1 priority.
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control. There are steps you can take to help plan for a better financial future. Now's the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.